Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out. Today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So before we dive into these topics, do me a favor and hit that like button to help the video out and show your support. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. The first topic talks about a highly anticipated game finally being announced for both PS5 and PS4, that being Knight Silksong. For those who aren't aware, when this game was announced, it was first announced it would be made available for PC and Nintendo Switch. Then, not too long after, they announced it would be made available on Xbox. And now, finally, over on the official PlayStation Twitter account, they say sharpen your needles, confirming Knight Silksong is coming to PS5 and PS4. And this is a pretty significant announcement because this is a game that a lot of people are anticipating, and they were wondering if it was actually going to make its way to the PlayStation consoles. And if you take a look at the Twitter post, it's garnered a lot of attention, a lot of likes, and a lot of positivity in the replies. So I just wanted to relay this to you and let you know that if this was a game you were hoping would come to PlayStation, you're in luck. That's exactly what's happening. Next up, we have a bit of an update on Tekken 8, which was just recently revealed at the most recent State of Play. Reading from Push Square, they say an interesting detail from a new IGN interview with Tekken boss Katsuhiro Harada. Tekken 8 apparently doesn't use any assets from Tekken 7. This means that character models and environmental details, all of the visual stuff, has been built from the ground up using Unreal Engine 5. This confirmation doesn't come as a huge surprise, seeing as Tekken 7 is around 7 years old. Its full arcade release happened in 2015, but it's nice to know that Bandai Namco is going the extra mile for its popular fighting game series. Previous Tekken titles have been known to pull assets from their predecessors, but again, that won't be the case with this new installment. And in case you did miss it, the footage we saw in that Tekken 8 trailer was actually taken directly from the title, running on PlayStation 5 in real time. So not only is that awesome by itself, but it is really nice to hear that, you know, they are rebuilding this game, or not rebuilding, but building this game from the ground up, and they are not reusing any assets. I thought that was actually pretty cool, and it is being developed in Unreal Engine 5 as well. So yeah, can't wait to see more of Tekken 8. Next up, we have a update on Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. There is a demo for this game out now on PS5 for a limited time, coming from PlayStation Lifestyle. It says, surprise, Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo dropped a Wo Long Fallen Dynasty PS5 demo today, and players will get a little something special for beating it. The companies are gathering feedback on the game from now until September 26th via a questionnaire that'll also come with a freebie for those who fill it out. Wo Long Fallen Dynasty is an action RPG set in a dark fantasy Three Kingdoms world. The game is scheduled to release early next year for the PS5 and PS4. However, the demo is available on PS5 only. Head over to the PlayStation Store to download the demo, which comes with multiplayer. On the PS5 specifically, players don't need a PS Plus subscription to try out the online portion. The action-packed demo features a glimpse inside a dark Three Kingdoms world gone mad, and the chaotic struggle to save a once-beloved land, now infested by demons. This is what Team Ninja has announced, featuring swordplay ripped from the Chinese martial arts. The demo showcases the strategies and swiftness of battle while also giving gamers a taste of the online multiplayer, the character creator, and in-game abilities, including vertical exploration and the importance of morale. So clearing the demo will grant you a crouching dragon helmet, which can be used in the full game when it launches. As far as the questionnaire goes, Team Ninja will be sending it out to those who participate in the demo, and completing it will net respondents a nice new wallpaper. So yeah, I wanted to let you guys know about this because this kind of, just dropped out of nowhere. It is, I think, a nice surprise for anybody who's been looking forward to this game. From what I've heard, this game, Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, feels a lot like Neo. I've actually heard that apparently it feels like it could be Neo 3. So if you are a fan of those games, which I know many people are, this is something you might want to try out on your PS5. And it is cool that they're making it so you don't need PS Plus to experience the online multiplayer as well. So let me know if this is something that you plan to download and try out. Moving on to the next topic, we have a pretty significant update to the Gran Turismo movie. That's right, Sony is making a Gran Turismo movie. Some of you may not be aware of this, but David Harbour, who Stranger Things fans will recognize as Officer Hopper, will be joining the cast. The release date for the Gran Turismo adaptation has also been narrowed down to August 11th, 2023. According to an exclusive by The Hollywood Reporter, David Harbour will be playing a retired driver who teaches the teen to drive. In this case, the teen mentioned here will be the protagonist, who becomes a professional race car driver after showing off his skills in the Gran Turismo games. As the plot is based on a true story, the real-life person who fits the story would most likely be Jan Mardenborough, who won Gran Turismo competitions in the past before becoming a professional driver for Nissan. So the movie is going to be directed by Neil Blomkamp, who is best known for his work on Elysium and District 9, and the script is being written by Jason Hall from American Sniper and King Richard. So yeah, this is something I think if you're a Gran Turismo fan, you might want to pay attention to. I really do like David Harbour. I think he's a great actor. I really enjoy him in Stranger Things. So the fact that he's going to be part of this movie, I have to admit, does make me more interested in it. It's also worth noting that the creator of the series, Kazunori Yamauchi, he's going to serve as an executive producer. So, we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. I think, if anything, Sony securing David Harbour to be part of, this Gran Turismo movie, I think it goes to show that they're working to try to bring on some big names because, David Harbour, he's coming off of the latest season of Stranger Things, which was absolutely huge. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Next up, we have some disappointing but maybe also expected news for PlayStation VR 2 if you've been paying attention. Sony did officially confirm that PSVR 2 will not be backwards compatible with PSVR. Reading from VGC, it says, speaking on the PlayStation Blog podcast, SVP of Platform Experience Hideki Nishino said that, quote, PSVR games are not compatible with PSVR 2 because PSVR 2 is designed to deliver a truly next-generation VR experience. PSVR 2 has much more advanced features like all-new controllers with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, and inside-out tracking, eye tracking in the headset, 3D audio, all coming together, of course. So this means developing PSVR 2 requires a whole different approach from the original PSVR, end quote. There doesn't appear to be any technical reason why PSVR games wouldn't be able to be ported over to PSVR 2, but the number of developers likely willing to do that work is unknown. So we've covered reports leading up to this point that talked about PlayStation VR 2, basically saying that we shouldn't expect PlayStation VR 2 to be backwards compatible with the original PlayStation VR. Now, I'm not sure if there are actually technical reasons for this. I'm assuming that if Sony really wanted to make it work and make it a reality, they could, but I have no idea what that would require or how much would be needed to make that a reality. And so, it is disappointing news. I think that there are going to be people, PSVR owners, who are, going to be upset about this and unhappy about it. I'm already seeing a lot of people kind of respond to this on the internet, and you can already tell that there are just, so many people who don't play PSVR, they don't have a PSVR headset, and they certainly don't plan on buying a PSVR 2 headset, but they're the first ones to come out and kind of, rage about this and talk about how, Sony's just the absolute worst for not making PSVR 2 backwards compatible. But, nonetheless, it is a disappointing announcement, but maybe not the most surprising one as well. So let me know what you think about that. And what I'm really curious to know is if you are somebody who does currently own a PSVR headset and it's something you invested in, how do you feel about this? Is this something that upsets you and you think, it's a mistake on Sony's part, or is it something that you did kind of expect and it's not a big deal to you? Please let me know down in the comments below. The final topic we're talking about is about everybody's favorite topic of discussion, that being the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard and Call of Duty and Sony's stance on this. We do have yet another update here. Reading from VGC once again, they say Sony has responded to the news that the UK competition regulator has launched an in-depth probe of Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. On Thursday, the Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, said its inquiry into the $68 billion merger has officially been expanded to a second phase due to a number of antitrust concerns. Notably, the CMA is worried about the impact that the deal could have on PlayStation's ability to compete, given the deal would see Microsoft gain ownership of the Call of Duty series. Sony welcomed the news that the CMA is set to expand its inquiry in a statement issued to GamesIndustry.biz. Quote, "By giving Microsoft control of Activision games like Call of Duty, this deal would have major negative implications for gamers and the future of the gaming industry," end quote. They continue by saying, quote, "We want to guarantee PlayStation gamers continue to have the highest quality gaming experience, and we appreciate the CMA's focus on protecting gamers," end quote. Earlier this month, Xbox boss Phil Spencer said that Microsoft had committed to making Call of Duty available on PlayStation for several more years after Sony's current marketing deal with Activision expires. During this period, Call of Duty games released on PlayStation would have feature and content parity. But as we know, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan came out and let everybody know that the deal was only good for 3 years, and he deemed it inadequate on many levels. So, this should not come off as a surprise to literally anybody. What we are seeing here is, the CMA basically saying we have to take more time to look into this acquisition more thoroughly. We have concerns, and Sony is just standing right there saying, yeah, I think this is something that could be detrimental. I think this is a great idea. I think you guys really should be doing this. You should be giving Microsoft some flack here and really probing into this. And that's all this is. And I've said it before, I'll say it again here. Sony is not just going to be silent with this. They're not just going to let Microsoft come in, make one of the biggest acquisitions in gaming, maybe the biggest acquisition in gaming, come in and gain ownership of Call of Duty and just simply do nothing about it. They're going to try to make it as difficult for Microsoft as they can. I've seen people getting frustrated seemingly on the internet, basically saying that Sony is either in the wrong here, or they're hypocritical, or they need to just stop making it seem like this is in the best interest of their gamers. I need to make something clear here for people, and to me it's kind of baffling that people don't see this more clearly. Why would Jim Ryan, why would Sony not fight to try to make this more difficult for Microsoft to achieve? Why would they not fight to try to keep Call of Duty on their platform? I understand that Sony is a billion-dollar corporation, and just like all corporations, it's business as usual. I'm not saying they're your friends. I'm not saying that we should eat up the marketing terminology that any company uses by saying, we want to do what's best for our gamers, and we care about our gamers. But seriously though, like, if you are somebody who owns a PlayStation, why would you advocate for Sony to just let a game series like Call of Duty, which has always been available on the PlayStation platform, just be let go? I mean, if you're somebody who absolutely despises Call of Duty, I feel like that kind of makes sense, right? You'd be like, whatever, good riddance. But even if you're somebody who's indifferent to Call of Duty, what do you have to gain by just seeing Sony kind of roll over and say, go ahead, Microsoft, take it and do what you will? Now, I've always advocated for something like this, maybe forcing Sony to be more competitive, putting a little bit more pressure on them. Maybe we'll get something even better out of them. I'm not against that. I think that is something that could happen. But at the same time, the more I think about this, the more ridiculous I think people just kind of look when they are pushing against Sony here for simply doing what they should be doing for their business and for their platform. And if you don't like the terminology they're using, I can understand that, but can we please not sit here and pretend that Phil Spencer and Microsoft aren't doing the exact same thing, just on the other side of the coin? That's what's bizarre to me. But, this is just something that, as I said, it's going to continue to happen, and we're going to continue to get more quotes out of Sony, out of Microsoft, and it's going to be an ongoing thing. And so, if you think Sony should just roll over and not say a word and not try to make this difficult for Microsoft and just simply say, go ahead, take Activision, take Call of Duty, we don't care. I understand that, but I guess in this case, what I'm saying, I'm just thinking from a business standpoint, from a logical standpoint, there's no reason for them not to be coming out here and, you know, kind of advocating for something like this to be happening. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this. I think at this point, one thing I can say, and I speak for everybody, is it seems to be getting a little bit tired, where each week we're getting a new headline in regards to Call of Duty, the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal, and Sony. It's getting a little bit tired at this point. So let me know your thoughts down below. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.